Good morning, students. Today we are going to complete chapter 1. In this chapter, we will complete the following points: Treaty of Constantinople 1832, the unification of Germany and Italy, visualizing the nations, nationalism and the imperialism. Children, here you can see a pic, and it is a symbolic pic of Treaty Constantinople of 1832. Children, first of all, we must know about the country of Greece and its existence. In starting, the Greece had been the part of the Ottoman Empire since 15th century, and the Ottoman Empire is related to the Arabian people, and they said that area is mostly the the modern countries in the group of the Arabian countries known as the Ottoman Empire. Nationalists in Greece got the support from other Greeks living in exile, and the growth of the revolutionary nationalism in Europe sparked off a struggle for independence among us the Greeks, which began in 1821. West Europeans who had sympathies for ancient Greek culture, the same way the poets and the artists lauded the Greece as the cradle of the European civilization and mobilized public opinion to support its struggle against a Muslim empire. The English poet Lord Byron organized the funds for it, basically for the Greek country, to make a great independent Greece country, and later went to the fight in the war, where he died of fever in 1824. Finally, the Treaty of the Constantinople of 1832 recognized Greece as an independent nation. Here you can see the pic of the William I. It's time to learn about the unification of Italy. First, we would like to understand about the Italy's locational size and the fragmentation at that time. Basically, Italy was politically fragmented into the several dynastic states. Out of the 7 states, Sardinia, Piedmont was ruled by the Italian princely house. North Italy was under the Austrian Habsburg, and the center was ruled by the Pope, and South Italy was under the Bourbon kings of Spain. And before understanding the unification of Italy, we must consider the role of the Mazzini, Giuseppe Mazzini, and for that we may have some information about him, that he was a famous revolutionary and born in 1807, was subsequently founded two undergoing societies in 1830s, and first young Italy universalists and then young Europe in Bern. And Mazzini believed that the God had intended nations to be natural, to be a patchwork of small stages and kingdoms. After seeing his strong role in unification of the Italy, Metternich, the ruler Metternich, declared him enemy of the social order. In 30s, the Giuseppe Mazzini sought to unite Italy and form various secret societies such as the Young Italy. We have already knew it about it. The ruling elites sought unified Italy would result in possibility of economic development and political dominance. Later, due the failure of the revolutionary uprising in 1830, the chief minister of Sardinia Piedmont, Cavour, led the movement of the unification, and through the tactful and diplomatic alliance with the France, the chief minister Cavour defeated the Austrian forces 1859. In 61, finally, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the King of the United Italy, and you can see here a pic of Victor Emmanuel II, and the second pic which is coming to the screen, that is of Chief Minister Cavour, and who had very tactful and diplomatic alliance with the France, which played a major role to defeat the Australian forces. Now, to know more about the Britain build up as a nation state, it's a very interesting story. Children, you must know that um, the formation of the Britain as a nation was the result of a long term process. Okay, um, there was no Britain nation prior to the 18th century. It must be a noticeable thing for you. The ones who inhabited Britain were ethnic such as Welsh, English, Scot, and Irish. But the English nation steadily grew in wealth, importance, and the power. It was able to extend its influence over the other island nations. The Act of Union 1707 between the England and the Scotland resulted in the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. The symbols of the Britain were in the British flag, and the national anthem, God Save Our Noble King. Nowadays it's a Queen, and then the English language. Now we will try to understand the visualizing the nations. It's about the for a common man, it was difficult to visualize a nation and connect to it. So in 18th and 19th century, nations began to be portrayed as a female figure called allegory, and during the French Revolution, artists used the female allegory to portray ideas like liberty and the justice and the republic. Same way, you can see a pic of a lady, and she is represented as a marine of France. The artists in 18th and 19th century found a way out by personify a nation, and so they represented a country as a female figure known as the allegory. Um, Marine, France was as marine, and her characteristics were the red cap and tricolor and the coquette. In another pic, you will resemble it from with the Germania, which to symbol the allegory of German, and the characteristics were that she wore the um, crown of oak leaves, and which symbolizes of the heroism. Another important topic comes nationalism and the imperialism. First of all, we must understand the meaning of the nationalism and the imperialism. Whereas the meaning of the nationalism is related to the feelings towards the nation, but the imperialism represent the making the country larger, bigger in size and in power. And for this, the most serious source of the nationalist tension in Europe found after 1871, and the area which was struggling with all these conflicts known as the Balkan, and we will know more about the Balkan in these points. Balkan was the reasons of geographical and ethnical variations. It includes modern days Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Albania, Macedonia, Serbia, etc. Its inhabitants were known as Slavs, and the spread of the Romanticism, disintegration of the Ottoman Empire together contributed to make this region very explosive. In addition to the different Slavic identities struggle to extend their boundaries over the Balkan states, each European power like Russia, Germany, and England were named countering to the whole power over these Balkan states. Every country, powerful country, wanted some snatch part of this area, Balkan area, and make their country larger and bigger in size. This led to these series of the wars, and finally led to the First World War. And children, many countries of Asia and Africa began to oppose the domination, and finally they all were inspired by the sense of the collective belongingness. This idea of the nation states came to be accepted as natural and universal. This way we complete our chapter, and you will be able to the given assignment on the basis of this today's lecture. Thank you kids, be happy and safe at home.